Welcome back everybody, it's Untap Your Go, and today we're going to be playing some Burn in Historic. Thanks to Strixhaven, we are now officially Boros because we get two new cards. Lightning Helix, which is Boros for instant, deals 3 damage to any target, and we gain 3 life, which is awesome. This is like an iconic burn spell, completely replaces Lightning Strike in this deck. And then we also get access to Clever Lumimancer, which is a 1 mana 0/1 with Magecraft with whenever you cast or copy an instant or sorcery spell, it gets +2/+2 until end of turn. This effect is really cool considering that it's a wizard, so it's going to reduce the cost for Wizard's Lightning, and most of the deck is just, most of the cards cost 1, and if we Spectacle, this costs 1, Light Up Stage costs 1, and then all of our 1 mana instants with like Shock and the Spikefield Hazards. So our curve is incredibly low, so this is going to like be a 4/5 very consistently, and sometimes even a 6/7, which is just unreal for a 1 mana creature in a Boros burn deck. Getting into the rest of the deck, we have 4 copies of Bomat Courier to be able to draw some cards. It's a nice hasty 1/1 that's just going to get some chip damage. 3 copies of Gitu Lava Runner, which is a 1 mana 1/2. As long as there are 2 or more instant or sorcery cards in your graveyard, it gets +1 and +0 and has haste. So it's nice to have this in a late game if it's like your top deck, you just need to attack. If that's all you really need, it's nice to be able to top into this. 4 copies of Shock, deals 2 damage to any target. Spikefield Hazard, 1 mana instant, deals 1 damage to any target, but if that permanent would die, it's exiled instead, which is really cool if you're going up against very specific things that you just need to get rid of. Like if your opponent plays a Kroxa on the stack in response to the sacrifice trigger, you could ping it for 1 damage and then it's exiled. So that's like a neat little interaction. But the thing that it's in here for is that it's a 1 mana instant that's going to check for Clever Lumimancer as well as be a land, because we're only playing 19 lands in the deck. So it's just going to help us be able to have our lands consistently. 3 copies of Robber the Rich. It's going to draw some cards. 4 copies of Yeshu Pyromancer, which is a 2/1. Deals 2 damage when it comes into play to target player or planeswalker. It's also a wizard, which is going to check for the Wizard's Lightning. All 4 copies of Lightning Helix, like mentioned. 4 copies of Light Up the Stage. We already know and love this card when we Spectacle. It's cost 1 instead of 3. 1 copy of Relic Robber, which is a neat inclusion. 3 mana 2/2 with haste. When it deals combat damage to a player, that player creates a 0/1 colorless goblin construct artifact creature with this creature can't attack. I'm sorry, this creature can't block, and at the beginning of your upkeep, this creature deals 1 damage to you. So it's really nice to sneak this against like control sometimes, because one, it's a 3 mana 2/2 with haste that technically deals 3 damage. So it's already like on rate, you know, but then it forces your opponent sometimes to have to like board wipe when they don't necessarily want to. Like if this is like all you have, Relic Robber, and you hit them, they're not going to want to keep the goblin constructs, and they're just going to have to board wipe, or they're going to have to use the removal and some cheesy way to get rid of it, and that's just going to make it really complicated for your opponent. 4 copies of Skewer the Critics, like mentioned, just 3 mana sorcery, deals 3 damage to any target, but we can Spectacle it for 1, and then all 4 copies of Wizard's Lightning, which also deals 3. So we basically just have bolts all throughout the deck. Almost everything is bolt. In the mana base, 5 Mountains, 4 Ruminant Ruins, 4 Clifftop Retreats, 2 Inspiring Vantage, and 4 Sacred Foundries. In the sideboard, 3 Grafdigger's Cage, 2 Fry. We have 3 Justice Strike total, but they're split. 1 more Relic Robber for in addition to the main board. 2 copies of Whirling Vortex for life gain. 2 copies of Rip Apart. 1 copy of the Biblioplex, which is actually really good in this deck, because when you're running out of cards very quickly, you get to 0 very fast, and it's nice to be able to filter your draws on your upkeep and stuff. And this card just is gas. This card is gas. It finds you so much resource, unbelievable. And 1 copy of Chandra Awakened Inferno, because I know we're only playing 19 lands, but if we're going up against control, we want something, I guess, to just bring in, and we'll get to 6 lands if we play the long game against them. We'll just eventually end up in top deck mode, and most likely just hit more lands than non-lands. So, Chandra is going to just be another addition to try to close out the game on top of the Relic Robbers and the Whirling Vortexes. And that is Burn Boros in Historic. If you guys like this content, please leave a like on today's video, subscribe if you're new, and hit the bell, especially hit the bell so you guys can see this content as I upload it. Also check out the content. I also have my Aether Hub link down below for the deck list if you guys want to import this and try it out yourselves. And with that being said, I will see you guys all in the wrap up. Alright, going into game 1, an opponent Dark Crown is on the play. Our opening hand is okay, it's kind of slow though. I'm going to mulligan. And this hand's better. Put one of the Sacred Foundries back. No. Actually, I think we hold on to the land. We put back one of the lightning... One to light up the stage. One of the light up the stage. Alright, up against the mirror match. Interesting. Let's get our Lumenmancer down. Opponent most likely has a shock or a Spike Field Hazard in response. Which I guess this is another really good target for Spike Field Hazard. Yep. Opponent's giving us the option to block. Alright, they don't have a shock. What are the chances they have, like, a Boulder Rush or something? Okay, they didn't have anything. Sweet. Play the Romanap Ruins so we don't have to pay as much life. Almost Spectacle. Alright, that wasn't too bad, but we needed to get rid of their Lumenmancer because this card is real, guys. You have to respect it. Leon and Late Scribe. Also really good. So we're going to play the Mountain out of exile. We're going to Lightning Helix, Late Scribe. And we're going to go... Opponent gives it up. Good game, opponent. Game 2 against JK536, and we are on the draw again. Sand is okay, it's a little slow, but we're going to keep it. Might have to use a Spike Field Hazard as a land. We're actually going to start off with the Clifftop Retreat. Get the Spike Field Hazard down, and let's play this Bomat Courier. Opponent probably has like a Heartless Act, maybe Fatal Push, or they could just be playing Rogues. Oh no, Brainstorm. Okay. It's a trap, guys. I think Brainstorm is dead. Seriously, it's a trap. It's deadly. Fatal Passage. That's a really good follow-up, though. That fixes that card. The card is broken if you don't fix it. You have to fix it. It's not as good as it is in other Eternal formats. Thoughtseize for our opponent, though. Kind of sucks, but, I mean, our game plan is pretty straightforward. They're not taking much. In fact, them losing 2 life is... I'll take that trade for... G2 Lava Runner. Let's go ahead and view Shino Pyromancer. And I think we go for damage. Opponent might have a Spell Pierce. Or Miscast, I guess, if you even want to play that. If Miscast hit non-creature spells, it would be so good. It would be such a good Magic card. The fact that it only hits instant or sorceries makes it it's not good. I wish they brought Mana Leak, actually. Test of Talents is a really good counterspell, I've noticed, out of Strixhaven. But, in the same regard, it's just not Mana Leak. Like, Mana Leak is just a really clean counterspell. It's a clean counterspell. Memory Lapse, though, definitely nuts. I like how I'm talking about counterspells while piloting a burn deck. Just talking about my mortal enemy casually, like, I'm actually hyping up my enemy, which is pretty funny. Let's get down our Lumenmancer, and it probably has a counterspell. Or if anything, a Cry of the Carnarium to follow up with. That is fine. Let's play another Bomat Courier. Pass it up. If our opponent has a board wipe, I might actually sacrifice, but Robber the Rich plus Lightning Helix, and our opponent gives it up. Alright, game 3 against Vigiv, and we're on the play, which is the first of this video, so that's pretty cool. We're going to keep this hand, actually. It's decent. As long as our Clever Lumimancer lives a turn, we're going to put our opponent to like 13 next turn. Alright. That could be a disfigure. Potentially. Yeah, let's check it. It's not. Alright. 12. 8 damage on turn 2. Clever Lumimancer, guys. It's the real deal. Alright, Valky's pretty good. Takes our Bomat. Which actually really isn't that big of a deal. Okay. So, we're going to main phase light up the stage. That way he can't block the Lumimancer. Not too bad. See, like, we just chunked him down to 8 so quickly that, like, we put him on the back burner before he even had any time to, like, do anything, really. And that gives us a really good competitive edge, I think. Alright, so we get to skewer for 3. And then light up for 1. And we just get to keep putting pressure. Like, now he has to just keep blocking with everything. And we have 2 more creatures to follow up with. Ravenous Super Copper is pretty good, though. Alright, so a shock off the top? Dang. We'll hold up the Romanep Ruins. We're just gonna run out everything and go wide here. One of them will die, but the other one will give us a potential card. They're playing the Explore package. I wonder if they're trying to ramp up the Bolas' Citadel. They only need 1 more land. That's pretty good. That's actually really good. Oh, so you just get to hit him for 3. I didn't, at haste. Ooh, and steal their Binding of the Old Gods, huh? Okay. Big Vraska. You don't see that very often anymore. 2, 4, 6, 7. I'll see if he lets me block or let me get through. He won't. GG's. Woo! Dang! Game 4 up against DSU. And they're playing a Kahira the Orphan Guard deck. That's cool. This hand seems like it could actually be decent against them. Spikefield Hazards. They might be playing like Lotus Cobra. Wait, that's a snake, right? Doesn't count. I'm gonna play sneaks. Never mind. Don't listen to me, guys. I'm a bad Magic player. But Bomat Courier, we're gonna get in for some cheap damage. Let's go for the most points of dome damage. Hope our opponent doesn't shock this before it gets to like 5 or 6 cards. Risen Reef. Pretty good Spike Field Hazard target. We're gonna hold up the one red just in case they decide to interact with the Bomat. Otherwise, we're putting our opponent down to pretty close to lethal. Yeah. I feel like we have to. The way to the stages are really good, though. The Lightning Helix lets us kill Omnath. Got him down to 7. Yikes. Omnath thought deck. Yep. We're gonna sacrifice the 2 cards. Kill this. Oh my god. Jesus. Seriously? Okay. Three Omnaths in a row. Woo! Leaf can Druid. It's gonna get really hard. I mean, there's no way we're getting through with combat damage anytime soon. Sure. Alright, so we have him for 3 damage. We have him for 3 damage. So this turn, to play a land. Oh, that's pretty good. But if he plays a land, he's actually going to get like 2 probably, so the Akuma's going to be too big to kill. But I can double block the Omnath if he doesn't put any counters on it. Spike Field Hazard his face. Kill the Omnath. And then Rumming Up Ruins, but that's alright, so that's 4 damage. Still need 4 damage. Yikes. Don't think we got it. Just attack with everything. So again, we're not going to be able to attack anytime soon. Alright, this is it. Relic Robber. Good game, opponent. Let me attack you, please. Please let it through. Please let it through. Ah, you suck. Couldn't have been a champ. You could have beat me at 1 life. Omnath to the face. Chandra activation. And we get steamrolled. Good game. 5th and final game against Clutch XV. And of course it's a Urian player. So we're probably going to lose this one too. This is a decent hand though, so we're gonna keep it. Unfortunately, have to start with our Clifftop Retreat tapped. Bomat's Courier. Bomat's Courier. Yeah, let's play the Bomat. Got haste. Start dealing some damage. Next turn we can Robber the Rich plus Shock. Or we can Gitu Lava Runner plus Shock and hold up a mountain so that way we can sack the Bomat. Clutcherian. Buffalo Haven's not bad. Ooh, Wizard Lightning. So this will bring him to 4 mana. He doesn't have any black or anything. He will have black, but all he needs is 1 black source and then an Extinction event gets rid of both of these. So if we play the Gitu Lava Runner and he names Odd, then they're all exiled. If we just play the Shock, then we get the most damage in. Or we can hold up the Mountain. But discarding our hand for 1 less card seems kind of bad. So I think the best case scenario is just Shock. And get the most damage in. Hope that he doesn't have the board wipe. And then if he does, we at least have some follow-up creatures. Or our opponent could just be dead, honestly. Yeah, he might just be dead. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If I draw an instant. Alright, that's a mountain. You know what? Yeah, just in case. If we rip into an Opt... Okay, I was going to say, if we ripped into an Opt with our Robber the Rich, we could have gotten in some extra damage. Opponent's down to 4 life. They can name Extinction event, but they'd still be left with the Robber the Rich they'd have to deal with. And they would need another Swamp to play Shadow's Verdict. Those are like their only 2 outs here. A Seeka's Chariot. Puts 2 bodies into play. I think I'm going to go ahead and just draw a bunch of cards. I mean, burn. Baby burn. Opponent even is playing the Elemental Fire Cat. He's already on fire, dude. He's been burned. That's my fault for not sacking at the end step. Still pretty sure we just win the game. Yeah. You know, the old duress bug. Good game. Wow, what a really fast 5 games. Welcome back to the wrap up, everybody. If you made it this far, it means you watched the whole video, and I appreciate that greatly. Thank you. And I would appreciate it greatly, even more so, if you went ahead and subscribed, especially if you're a new viewer. It would help a lot. I'm trying to get to 1,000 so I can post every day, and I want to get there. So please help me. Please help me so I can provide more content for you guys. It's a win-win for everybody, right? Anyway, we went 4-1. Very fast 5 games, guys. Incredibly fast 5 games. Burn is in a really good spot now, and it's just got consistency. It's got so much pressure. Lumimancer hits really hard, puts your opponent on the back burner very quickly, and then you just have a bunch of deal 3, deal 2, like just a lot of direct damage. Your opponent can't really do much to prevent, and then every single one of your one mana creatures and stuff become top deck threats, and your opponent has to like kill every single one of them, or they're just like dead and they're just chilling at like 3 life, where like any lightning helix is just lethal off the top, or any wizard's lightning or skewer the critics. I mean, this deck hits really hard, and I imagine in best of 3, it's still pretty good. I was playing some earlier, and Biblioplex, guys, is the real deal. Honestly, it's my favorite card in the sideboard. I saw this on somebody's list online, and, like, seriously, the Biblioplex is no joke. Being able to just, like, draw a bunch of cards once you run out of gas, this card is the gas. It just keeps you going, and you just never seem to run out of resources, and at that point, you're winning. Like, you're just winning, so... anyway, check the link out below if you guys want to try the deck out for... Click the link down below if you guys want to try the deck out for yourselves and import it into the arena. I'm Rob, aka Untype Your Go. It's been real, everyone. I hope you have a nice, wonderful evening. Bye-bye.